Hi, I'm Sarah. Welcome to the Daily English Show. Today I got an email from someone asking for help with their English. So today is their lucky day. I'm going to point out some mistakes in their email. While I'm reading this email, see if you can see what the mistakes are. Hi, how was your day? You've used the wrong your there. That's a classic mistake. And my day was great, thank you. First, I want to know how many times repeat one lesson. You shouldn't use a question mark there because it's not an actual question. Also, I think this sounds a bit better. Could you tell me how many times I should repeat one lesson? And my answer to that question is until you get sick of it. I think repeating is really important and useful, but it's important to choose something that you're interested in to repeat. I'll just watch a show once, and then if you find it interesting, watch it again and again until you get sick of it. Second, what do I do to remind a word that I don't know? You should use remember there. Well, there are many methods to remember words, and one is to use it. So when you pick up a new word, try and use it as much as possible in conversation and use it when you're writing, because the more often you use it, the more likely you are to remember the word. Third, how can I understand a word or sentences if I don't want to look from dictionary, is it possible or not? You've spelled understand wrong there. Yes, it's definitely possible. You can try and guess what a word means from the context, and I think it's a very useful and important skill. And the email goes on from there. And my final piece of advice today is this. Use spell check. Spell check won't solve all your problems, but it is very useful. I use Word, and I have that thing turned on where you can see a squiggly red line under a word that could be spelled wrong. I think that's a great way to improve my spelling. That line could be there because it's a new word like blog, but it also could be there because I don't know how to spell the word. And when I see it, first I try and correct the mistake myself, and if I can't work it out, then I look it up. And after I've made the same mistake a few times, then eventually I remember how to spell it. It's really useful to know how to spell, even if you're on a computer, because it's much faster if you spell everything correctly the first time. Kia ora, this is Stick News. Today is the World Day Against the Death Penalty. Thousands of people across the globe are taking part in initiatives to protest capital punishment.
When a state agrees to kill a person as punishment for a crime, it's called capital punishment or the death penalty. Wikipedia says the death penalty used to be used by nearly all societies. But now many countries and states have abolished the practice, including almost all countries in Europe, the South Pacific, and Latin America and Canada. Places where the death penalty still exists include the United States, Guatemala, most of the Caribbean, and the majority of democracies in Asia and Africa. In 2003, the first World Day Against the Death Penalty took place. The event was launched by the World Coalition Against the Death Penalty. The coalition says on their website that their ultimate objective is to obtain the definitive abolition of death sentences and executions in those countries where the death penalty is in force.
And that was Stick News for Wednesday, the 10th of October. Kia ora.
Honestly, truthfully, I'm not exactly against it for one reason. I know that if it was me, and you leave me alone and you touch somebody that's mine, I will kill you. So let them get you before I do.
Well, it depends on the situation, because if it's like, if someone's murdered, like, death for death, bottom line is right. So it really depends on the situation, I guess, for now. And of course, other countries believe different things too, so. But here, I don't really believe that's right.
I think it's wrong because you don't know what happens if somebody's innocent. You can't exactly go back on it.
I really don't think that it should be up to us to decide who lives, who dies. I don't want that responsibility, and I don't feel I can trust someone else with that either.
I think I don't necessarily agree with it completely, but I also don't agree with guys like someone committing a crime like murder and then being let out of prison years later and then recommitting that crime. So either way, I don't necessarily agree with it, but at the same time, I don't agree with not having it.
Yes. I think some crimes are so bad that they deserve it. Yes. And I think it helps the families of the victims. So you don't support it? How about when a person kills a lot of people? Well, how can we stop it? But they need to be punished for their crime. Do you agree with the death penalty? Really? Why? Like killing people? Really? But from what I've read, often the victims' families don't actually support the death penalty. No. No matter what they do, I don't agree. I don't think we can really stop killing by killing more. Well, maybe we can, but if the death penalty doesn't even help, then we shouldn't do it. Yeah, maybe, but anyway, you can punish people without killing them. And what about all the wrongful convictions? There are a lot of them. And once someone's dead, that's it.
Noun, the largest part of a group of people or things. A. Initiative. B. Penalty. C. Abolish. D. Majority. E. Coalition. Majority. Noun, a new plan for dealing with a particular problem or for achieving a particular purpose. Initiative. Noun, a punishment for breaking a law, rule, or contract. Penalty. Noun, a group formed by people from several different groups, especially political ones, agreeing to work together for a particular purpose. Coalition. Verb, to officially end a law, a system, or an institution. Abolish.
And that was the Daily English Show. See you tomorrow. Bye.